I think I'm live. Hi, my name is Sharon, and thank you very much for joining me today on my very first live. I'm so excited. Um, yeah, thanks so much for taking the time out to come along to this. So, today I'm going to be sharing some Google Workspace updates with you, as well as a couple of tutorials as well, just tiny ones that I think you might find helpful. So yeah, before we dive in, a little bit about me. My name is Sharon. I run Sharon's tutorials where I help solo business owners understand how to get Google Workspace to work for them. I'm also a virtual assistant for coaches, consultants, and trainers where I'm supporting them with the back end administration and keep things ticking along. Um, so that's me in a nutshell. Obviously, you can tell from my accent I'm from the UK. I've been living in Ireland for the last 19 years now. So, on that note, if you are joining me live, put in the chat where you're joining me from, which town or country you're joining me from, and say hi. And if you're not here with the live and you're here watching the replay, then yeah, put it in the comments as well. This is for you more than me, so I want to make it as interactive as possible. So if you do have any questions throughout what I'm doing or throughout the live, then feel free to ask away in the chat or in the comments if you're watching on replay. So let's dive in, shall we? I want to ask you a quick question first, and that is, do you use Gemini in your workspace? Yes or no, basically, if you can let me know. So with me, Gemini is a bit of a weird one for me. I don't really use it that much. I tend to use it with Gmail, and that's it. And that's just kind of like when if I need to send an email and I'm not quite sure how to word something, then I will ask Gemini to refine the paragraph or rephrase it, etc. That's all I tend to use Gemini for. I've got a little bit of a trust issue with Gemini. It's kind of like you can ask it to summarize an email thread, which is really helpful and really time saving. But how do you know that it's not missed something out without you physically going in to that email thread and asking, checking through every single email? How do you know it's not missed something? And that's where I struggle a little bit with AI and especially with Gemini. So another quick example of Gemini is if you're in Google Sheets and you don't know much about spreadsheets and how they all work, but you've got some sales data and you need to put it into a table. So you ask Gemini to do it. Put it into a table, put the sales figures in descending order of value, maybe even highlight the values that are above a certain amount, highlight them in a different color, change the currency to a different currency, etc. And maybe even do like a chart or a graph or whatever to show to compare this year versus last year, and Gemini will do it all for you, and it's brilliant. But a month later, Google decide to up the price of that specific version of Gemini that you're using, and all of a sudden it's gone because you just think, no, I'm not paying that for it, it's fine. You go back into the spreadsheet and you can't do what you want to do. You're asking Gemini, and Gemini is kind of like, nah, sorry, I'm not doing that because you're not paying for the premium version. So it's kind of like, if you don't know the basics, then you're going to struggle. Do you know what I mean? So for me personally, I just believe everybody should know the basics first of what you're asking AI to do for you. You need to know the basics of the table structure, how to change the formatting, how to change the currency, how to do conditional formatting to get certain values to be highlighted in a different color. All these little things are simple, basic things that I just think everybody should be aware of first before asking Gemini or AI to do something for you. Now, that could just be me. I don't know. So yeah, let me know if you agree or if you're a bit on the fence about AI or anything like that. Let me know pop it in the chat or in the comments below. So yeah, there are two examples of why I don't use AI, why I don't use Gemini. Having said that, Google have brought in a good feature for Gemini that's called Proofread that helps with your Gmails. So I'm going to try and share my screen. Now, I did try this in the test, and it's a bit hit and miss whether or not it works for some reason. So I am going to quickly share my screen here. And hopefully, I'm hoping you can see that. I think you can. Give me a thumbs up if you can see that, or put yes or something in the chat if you can see that. Let me know. So yeah, Google have brought in a new feature called Proofread, and it goes beyond the usual grammar and spelling check. It will give you things like being concise. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know that you can see it. So yeah, I'm just going to read this bit out to you. It goes beyond spelling and grammar corrections. It get like conciseness, active voice, sentence structure, and word choice. So everything is polished before you send it. Now I have this on my business standard account in Google Workspace, and I have to say, it is actually quite good. So that's one of the ways that I would use Gemini for that kind of thing. If it's being rolled out, so you might not have it yet, but if you're on, I think it is the business standard or higher. Oh no, sorry, business starter. If you're on a business starter or higher, which is the lowest of the paid versions of Google Workspace, then you will have this, or it will be rolling out to you. I don't actually have it on my business starter account yet, but I do on my business standard account. So that's the first thing. That's one of the rollouts that's happening now with Gemini that is good. The second one that I am quite excited about, that's going to be a while yet before we get it, but I'm just going to change my screen here. It's called AI Inbox, and with Gmail. And I know a lot of business owners struggle with email management. And if you've got thousands of emails in your inbox that you're seeing every single day, this could be a deal breaker. This could be really good. So AI Inbox is it's currently available to selected trusted testers in the US. So it's going to be a while before Europe get it. But it's basically a new view inside your Gmail inbox. And there's two main sections that it's going to do. It's going to have suggested to-dos. So these are things that need your attention or action from incoming emails. It identifies high priority items and explains what you need to do in bold text. For example, a due date of a utility bill or a credit card bill. The second section is called topics to catch up on. So that gives you a quick summary of important updates. It helps you to stay updated on things like upcoming travel, restaurant reservations, purchase confirmations, etc. Now, I am excited about this because I think it is really good for business owners, especially ones that have huge amounts of emails in their inboxes. But on the flip side to that, I'm still struggling with the trust thing. And I still would think, how do you know that it's not missing something from you? If you've got 40,000 emails in your inbox, how do you know it's not missed something that is important? Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of on the fence about that. I'm still not 100% sure about using that yet. So there are two Gemini updates. One of them is here already. The other one will be coming in at some point in the future. The next thing I want to talk about is Google Keep. Now, I love using Google Keep. I don't know, do you use Google Keep regularly? I love it. I just think it's one of those note-taking apps that's really simple to use. It's free to use as well. And the phone on the app on Android is really good. You can take voice notes while you're out and about, and it records the voice note, but it also saves it as text in the actual note itself. It's just really good. So Google Keep used to have a thing called Keep Reminders, and you could set a deadline date for the actual note within Google Keep. And recently, last year, they rolled out, they changed it basically so the reminders get put into Google Tasks instead. They're still in Keep, but the reminders themselves will also appear in your Google Tasks. And I get why Google have done it, because they want everything to be integrated. And Google Tasks is a task management system. So why not put a deadline of your to-do notes or whatever in Google Tasks? But I do get emails from some of my subscribers that say they don't use Google Tasks. And now the reminders have disappeared from Google Keep. And there's no way of doing, you know what I mean? They're not getting any notification about their reminders if they don't use Google Tasks. So yeah, I'm currently trying to find a workaround for that. So I will update. I'll do another live about a workaround for that if I can find one. But It is. I think Google Tasks is a really good app anyway. So I'm gonna share my screen if I can find my mouse. Hold on. Oh, where are we? Sorry, I'm going between two monitors and the mouse keeps disappearing. Okay, let's go here and just quickly share. I think you can see that as well, I hope. Fingers crossed. So yeah, this is Google Keep. And I just want to quickly show you what I mean by the reminders. So this is a note here. And at the bottom, when you hover over the note, there's a little bell icon that you can set a reminder. So if you click on there, it brings up some preset times and dates that you can use, or you can go into select date and time and choose your own. At the very top here, it tells you your reminders are saved in Google Tasks. That used to be in Google Keep. So when you select, when you set your date and time as a reminder, so I'm just going to quickly put in this one here, go back up to the note, you will see a label has been applied to that note with a little blue tick next to it, which is the Google Tasks logo. So you know that that is now in Google Tasks. If you then go into your Google Tasks, I think you can see that, yeah, you will see that this is the note that's come from Google Keep. So it's got the date and the time here of the reminder of the actual deadline. And here you can see there is a little label that says from Keep, which it's just basically telling you that that's come from Google Keep. So it's really good. And if you click onto there, it opens up the note itself within your Google Keep. So I just think it's really good. I think it actually goes seamlessly from Keep to Tasks, but I understand why some people don't like it. On the other side to that as well in Google Keep, you've still got the reminders label over here on the left-hand menu down the side. You've still got one that says reminders. So you can click into there and you can see any notes that have got reminders with them. Now with tasks, let me just go back into my tasks. The one thing that you need to bear in mind is that when you set a reminder in Google Keep, it will automatically be put into the last list that you've worked on in your Google Tasks. So if you want it to go into a different list, then all you need to do is when you're in your tasks, click on the three dots next to the task itself, and then choose a different list. I've got lots of lists here, but you choose a different list and it will go into that list itself. Another reason why I think this is a really good idea is because anything that you put in your Google Tasks that has a deadline date like this, a reminder date, sorry, then it also appears in your calendar as well. So it all just works seamlessly with each other. So in your calendar, you will have down the left-hand side, you've got a section called My Calendars. And underneath that, there will be one that says Tasks. So you just need to make sure that that box is checked and your task will appear in your calendar alongside your events and meetings and everything else. It also means that you can check off any tasks that you've got. You can check them off from your calendar. You can check them off from Google Tasks itself, but you can also check them off from Google Keep. And if I go back to Keep, if you want to remove the date, the task completely from your Google Keep, then you can just hover over the actual deadline date here and click on the cross to delete the task. And when you click on that, it removes it from your Google Tasks, from your calendar, and everywhere else. So I just think it's a really good, seamless integration really of everything within Google. So I understand why they've done it. I think maybe they should have given you the option of either using keep reminders as they were, or giving you the option of using Google Tasks rather than just telling everybody they have to use Google Tasks. But let me know what you think. Yeah, I'd be interested to know, because I do get emails from people, from my email subscribers, saying that they don't like the fact that you have to now use Google Tasks. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't change that. But I am trying to find a different workaround for that. So what's next? Google Forms. There's two more updates that I want to quickly touch on. So let me share my screen again. Google Forms, I think, is really underrated. I love Google Forms and use it all the time for everything. And it's free as well. Why would you not like it? Why would you not use it? So Google Forms have brought in a new feature. So let's pretend this is a form, an all singing, all dancing form that you've created that you want to publish. So you go into publish in the top right corner here and make sure that the people who you want to respond can actually respond. So that's all fine. You click publish and it brings up the URL of the link for them to respond. That's all fine. Once it's published, they've now brought in some new features, publishing options that you can use. So if you click back on published again in the top right corner, and where it says accepting responses, it used to just be that you would click this the little toggle button here to the right to turn off your the form to say that you're no longer accepting responses. They've now brought in a close date or a response limit number. So you can either choose a date and time of when you want that form to stop so nobody else can fill it in, or you can set a number of responses. So if you're only after 50 people to reply to fill in the form, set it for the number 50, and anybody else after that, it won't let them respond. And you'll also see underneath here, this is the message that people will see. There's a little pen icon here. You can edit that message, so you can put whatever you want in there as well to let them know that you're no longer taking responses. So again, it's just another little feature that Google have brought in that I just think is really good for Google Forms. So that's Forms. My final update that I want to share is something that I'm a little bit annoyed about. And to be honest, I haven't heard anybody talking about this update. I've not heard anything from Google. I've not seen anything in their blogs or updates about this update. It's almost as though they've done it really sneakily and really quietly. And it's really annoying as well. So when you're in either Gmail or Drive or your calendar, the little waffle menu, which is the nine square grid in the top right corner, where you can click in and choose what apps you want to go to. I'm just going to go into Gmail here. So this little waffle menu up in this top right corner, if you can see that. No, because I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. Let me just share my screen and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Share. Okay, can you see that now? Yes. So the little 9 square grid icon in this top right corner, it's called the waffle menu. When you click on there, you bring up a list of all your apps and everything here. You used to be able to just click and drag the apps to put them in any particular order. So if you wanted whichever apps you use more on a regular basis, you could click and drag them so that they're at the very top of that list. Google have now changed that. So whereas before it was literally click and drag and that was it, they've now brought in a button, and it's just really annoying. So they've now got a section here called your favorites. If you want to move them around, you have to physically click on this button that says edit. Then you drag and drop the apps into whatever order you want. Then when you finish that, you then click on done. And that's it. So instead of it just being click and drag and that was it, you've now got click the button, click and drag, click on another button. I don't understand. It's one of those things I just don't get why they've done that. But it is something that they've done sneakily and quietly without anybody realizing. And I only noticed it a couple of weeks ago as well. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed about that. So they're the updates that I have for today. This is something that I'm thinking of doing on a monthly basis. So obviously there'll be more updates coming on and everything. I hope that you found it interesting and that you found it useful as well. Let me know in the chat if there's something else that you want me to cover specifically, or if there's any questions. And also, if you're watching this on replay, which it will be available as a replay as well, then let me know in the comments as well. And I've included a link to my website in the description if you want to have a browse and see what else I do. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me live. And I think that might be it. So yeah, thanks very much for your time. I hope you did find it helpful. And I will see you again soon. I do have videos. I do publish videos on a weekly basis. So check out my channel as well. Thank you very much, Richard. I appreciate that. So yeah, and yeah, I will see you next time. So thanks very much and take care and have a good weekend. Okay, bye for now. Thanks.